Gents, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing okay. In today's video, I wanted to discuss the importance of not revealing your plans, not revealing your intentions, your ambitions to everybody and anybody. It's something that I believe a lot of guys fail on. A lot of guys at the moment talk too much and do too little. And they share things that they shouldn't be sharing with people that they shouldn't be sharing things with. And it comes back to bite them in the backside. And I think sometimes we all need a little refresher on this. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Look, first and foremost, there's multiple different reasons as to why you shouldn't be sharing your plans, but there's levels of severity, as with everything. I want to start small. First and foremost, private, intimate details of a relationship should never be put on social media. A lot of guys are in some ways pimping out their girl by the pictures that they put up online and the stories they put on Snapchat. Don't ever find yourself doing this. Don't ever find yourself posting really intimate things and sharing it with God knows who. Because not everybody's got the best intentions towards you. Not everybody wants you to prosper. Not everybody wants you to win. In fact, guys, some people want you to fail. Some people want your life to suck. And mindlessly putting private information that could harm you, harm your relationship, and harm the people that you care about online for anybody to see is always a terrible strategy for reducing problems in your life. Instead, keep this stuff under wraps. You don't need to talk about your sex life with people. You don't need to be revealing relationship issues with everybody. Of course, sometimes maybe you need to talk about a couple of things to really close friends that you absolutely trust, or really close family that you absolutely trust. There's an element of normality to that, as long as you're not disclosing really private things or things that you two have both agreed within your combined relationship that you're not going to talk about. That's okay. But for goodness sake, don't be one of these guys who's just sharing too much and putting really intimate things, really sacred things as such, on the table for everybody to see. Now, a completely separate thing, but along the lines of what I wanted to talk about today, is guys who have plans and have ambitions, but share it with absolutely everybody. And often what comes with that is the fact that they share these plans and they share these ambitions before they've even started to work on them. A lot of guys will have projects and aspirations, things they want to do, but they'll go to their boys and say, I'm gonna do this. They'll post it online, say, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna achieve this. And then lo and behold, when the deadline, when the timeline runs out for the activity, for the result to have been achieved, whatever it is, it's not done. How many times have you seen it? Guys talk about the summer bod that they're going to get and they post it online, they put it on social media. This year is my year. I'm going to get jacked this year. I'm going to look so good this year. New year, new me. And again and again and again, fail. Again and again and again, nothing. Now, the best way to do it is to shut your mouth. And I don't say that in a disrespectful way. I say that because sometimes you need to hear it like that in order to help yourself. Just shut up. Do the work quietly. It's borderline immature as well to speak before you've even got the wheels in motion, to speak before you've even done any of the work. Instead, earn the right to speak about it by doing it and getting the result, and then speak about it. It's far more impactful that way. Let's say, for example, right now you're in really bad shape and you've just met up with some friends and you've been on the beach and you just feel crap about your body. You really know that you've let yourself down. You've been eating too many packets of crisps. You've been eating too much chocolate. And you know you've let yourself go. But you know that at some point later on in the year, 6 months from now, there's going to be another opportunity to go and hang out with those friends. And within that time frame, there is an opportunity to change your physique. And look, not to impress your friends. That should never be your sole motivation. It shouldn't be your motivation to get in great shape to impress girls either. Your motivation should be to get out of bad shape, to improve your health, and to be all round happier, right? Within yourself. When you look better, you feel better. But let's say you're going to meet them later in the year, 6 months from now. There's an opportunity to go and do that work quietly. Do that work in silence, so that when you hang out with them again, they're going to say, brother, what have you been doing? Have you been in a cage or something? You've just been locked in a dungeon lifting weights? Brother, you're looking incredible. Good work. You were looking a little bit tubby the last time we saw you, but wow, you've put in the work. You've put the chocolate down, you picked the barbell up. Good job. But even announcing to them and then doing it is less impressive than just shutting up and doing it. Telling them, oh, I'm going to do this, and then doing it. Yeah, they predicted it. They knew that you were working on it. Still well done. You stuck to your word, awesome. But isn't it better to just rock up with the job done? Isn't it better to just not announce your plans? And I don't say this so that you don't set expectation. I know that some people use announcing their plans as a form of accountability. And when you actually get it done and you're consistent and your words and actions have aligned over a long period of time, I would say that's a little bit different, and that's okay. Fair play to you if you can do that. But there are a lot of guys who will just announce what they're gonna do in this cringy way, never do it, and then have to face the fact that they didn't do it. And guys, this loses you respect. This loses you respect with your friends. It loses you respect from your family. It loses you respect from women. Because somebody who is genuinely really trustworthy doesn't put his name to something and not follow through. He doesn't put his name to something and not do what he said he was going to do. Fundamentally, not doing what you said you were going to do is a big flaw. And people would be right not to respect you as much. They would be right to not trust you as much. Because consistently, you break your word. Consistently, you go against what you said you were going to do. You let yourself down. You let other people down maybe sometimes. But you don't have any of that expectation if you just shut up and do the work quietly. But I think a big part of why guys like to announce their plans is because deep down they are craving a bit of appreciation, craving a bit of approval. When they say they're going to get ripped this summer, they want their boys to go, yeah, we believe in you, yeah, you're going to do it. Screw that. Go and get that approval from yourself. Give yourself the appreciation when you've done it. Stop building up cheap, fake dopamine, just trying to hype yourself up. No, do it. Start, get it done. Stop announcing your plans. Stop telling people you're going to do X. Stop telling people you're going that way when actually you end up going that way. No more, because the longer you do this, the longer this is going to be the man that you are. The harder it is to break the habit. Talked about this before. The longer you go behaving, acting, doing things in a certain way, the harder it is to turn around. So you've got to be urgent with this. You've really got to say to yourself, no more. I'm not getting in my own way anymore. I'm not announcing my plans. I'm not inviting trouble into my life. I'm not inviting people into my relationships. I'm not inviting people into intimate parts of my life. I'm going to control my life. I'm not going to announce what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it. And I'm going to let everybody awe at the results rather than the hype, rather than the things I say. It's such a good feeling when you just almost go monk mode for a little while, almost go ghost mode for a little while, whatever you want to say, however you want to put it, and just come back a different guy. But you're never going to experience that if you keep going round and round in this loop. And there's only so many times you can loop before you're stuck in that loop forever. So how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to transform? How bad do you want to stop being the guy who just overpromises and underdelivers? How bad do you want your relationships to improve? How bad do you want respect from people? It all starts with you and the things that you control. And one of the best lessons that I ever learned as a man, through failure, through embarrassment, through humiliation, was to just shut my mouth. Your life gets better when you shut your mouth, seal your lips, and just do. Just work, and slowly but surely, your friends, your family, the women in your life are going to realize that this time you're serious. This time you're doing the work. This time you are sticking to your word. Everything gets better when you shut your mouth and just start doing. Everything gets better when you back up the talk with action. But preferably, guys, we're not making the mistake anymore after watching this of announcing things before we've even started. That is a certain no-no. Look, one caveat I'm going to make is that, look, if you're starting a business, if you're looking to get into a new venture, you've researched, you've done some planning, you have a strategy in place, maybe it's sensible to go and strategically collaborate with somebody. Maybe there's somebody who's doing that thing themselves and you could get advice from them and they might be able to help you. They might be able to aid the process. That's different. One or two people, maybe you can share it with if it's going to help, if they're genuinely going to improve things. But where you start posting and where you start trying to get people to hype you up about all this stuff that you've never even tried to do, that you say you're going to do, that's where you get into this dark place. And that's where you start to just become a guy who is just a mouthpiece, but with no substance, no work, no consistency. And you know it as well. When that's your reality, you know it. You look in the mirror and you don't like the man you see. I've been there, you're there now, or you've been there previously if you're watching this. So change that. Stop talking, start doing. Anyway, if you took some value from this, be sure to hit the like button. Consider subscribing to the channel if you are new around here and comment your thoughts down below. As always, guys, thanks for your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next one.